Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Just want to do a little sound check and welcome every sleep deprived parent. My little boy is 3, excuse me, and I slept in his bunk bed last night, which is where I normally sleep. So if you are a sleep deprived parent arriving at this session, I feel you and I see you. It's so hard, isn't it? So take a minute to get yourself comfortable. Make sure that you have some water to hand as well, because when we're doing breath work, excuse me, I've got a little tickle. When we're doing breath work, you can get quite dehydrated. So just take a moment to make sure that you're comfortable. Have some water to hand and also grab yourself one of your kids' toys. Ideally a nice soft one like this one, and then come back, get yourself comfortable, sitting in a chair or lying down, whatever you want to do, and just gently start to arrive in the space. Welcome all parents to this session, which is all about stress relief for parents. And I think that is just so important, because even though parenting is absolutely magical, it's incredible, the best thing I've ever done in my life, gives me purpose and joy and happiness every day, the job itself can be really hard and really stressful, especially when you are continually sleep deprived. I have 2 little ones. I have a little boy who's 3 and a little girl who's 5, and they still wake up every night. So I don't think there's any nights now, even now, when I get a full night's sleep. So before we get started, and I want to show you guys today a number of different techniques that will really work with your own family dynamic, and these are techniques that you can do when you're with the kids or when you're not with the kids, because I think as a parent it's really important to be able to regulate your nervous system around your family dynamic. If you're always waiting for 20-minute silence, that's not going to happen. But before we get started, I just want to really quickly explain to you the importance of child brain development. So a child's brain continues to develop until they are 25 years old. This is a lot longer than what most people think. And the final part to develop is your prefrontal cortex. That's your brain's ability to self-regulate your emotions. This is the reason why children are nowhere near able to regulate their emotions. That's why they have meltdowns. That's why they have tantrums. And essentially in those moments there's a term called flipping the lid. So their thinking brain has gone offline and their amygdala, their reptilian brain, is kind of leading the show. They are flooded in their emotions. They're lost in their emotions. And it's these really high intensity, or highly tense moments that I think are the hardest parts of parenting. So your child is dysregulated and you need to remain calm, but it's really hard. You might be feeling stressed, you might be sleep deprived, you might be feeling burnt out, maybe your mind is distracted, you've got a deadline with work. That it's really, really hard. So think of it like this. I think this analogy is quite good. So in those moments when they're dysregulated, imagine that they are on a boat and they are lost at sea. So the waves are crashing up and down and they're essentially lost. They're lost at sea. What they need in those moments is for us to be their anchor of calm, to help them come back to a place of regulation. This is actually called co-regulation. So what a child needs is a trusted parent or caregiver that is going to help them regulate their emotions, to help teach them what regulation means, because they're unable to do it themselves. This is called co-regulation, and it's essential for a child to develop a really healthy mental health. Children will observe how we adapt to stress or how we react to, big kind of challenging moments, and then they'll start to kind of copy what we do. And of course, co-regulation is really hard when we're feeling dysregulated, when we're feeling stressed, when we're feeling anxious. So I'm going to show you now some simple ways that you can regulate your nervous system anytime throughout the day, and really working with your children as well. Because if you're always trying to regulate your nervous system when you're in that heightened state, when you're going into that fight-flight mode, that's going to be really hard. Always think of it more really about prevention. So think less meditate and more regulate. What can I do today to regulate my nervous system, to regulate my breathing? Because the more calm, grounded and present you are as a parent, the easier it is to deal with our child's kind of big emotions, big meltdowns, and those high emotional points. So I'm going to stop talking because I want to get straight into some breath work. Grab your child's toy, and what you're going to do, I might have to stand up here, so let me just see if I can see myself here. So just stand up. I'm going to move that chair out of the way, and I hope that you can still hear me. So I'm going to kind of speak loudly just so that you can hear me. Gently place the toy on your belly. If you have any kind of tight clothes or tight jeans, just take a moment to undo them, because what you're doing is you're physically preventing yourself from taking a full breath. And when we get stressed as a parent, quite often the breath starts to rise up here into our chest, and that makes you more stressed. So you really want to bring your breath down into your belly, and using a kind of a cuddly toy is the perfect way to do this. Not only you're doing a number of things. You're actually also nurturing your own inner child, which can often get triggered when we are kind of dealing with big emotions of our children. And if you have a baby, so if your baby is little, they're still small enough to go on your tummy, then even better, because this is a really lovely way to make them feel calm and of course make you feel calm. So gently place that toy on your belly. And then what you're going to do is you're going to use your breath to push that teddy up. Maybe if I move this, let's move that there so you can really see me. So you're going to use your breath to push that teddy out. So as you breathe in, your belly's going to go up. Feel free to push your belly up, and the teddy's going to go up. And then as you breathe out, you're going to bring your belly in, and that teddy is also going to come in with you. So it's breathing in, belly goes up. Feel free to force your belly out at first. I've had 2 kids back to back, so I often have to force my belly out to really connect to my breath. And then when you're bringing your tummy back in, really imagine that the muscles of your belly are really slowly beginning to come back in. So it's breathing in, belly goes up like that, and then breathing out, those muscles really start to gently tighten. And this is lovely to do postpartum and post giving birth, just to really gently start to help you engage with those muscles once again. So let's do this together. And let's see if we can do 5 belly breaths together. So holding that teddy there, and you can hold that however you want. I want you to breathe in, and your teddy and that belly go up. And then breathing out, teddy and belly go down. Breathing in, teddy and belly go up. Breathing out, teddy and belly go down. Breathing in through the nose as your teddy and the belly go up. And then exhaling out through your mouth as your teddy and the belly go down. Breathing in, teddy and belly go up. Breathing out, teddy and belly go down. Let's do one more. Breathing in, teddy and belly go up. Breathing out, teddy and belly go down. And then I want you to gently bring your breath to a rise and fall. So you continue to have that teddy on your belly. And now you can start to really connect with your breath in your own way. So you don't need to do that audible breath, but continue to breathe into your belly. So breathing in, belly goes up. Breathing out, belly goes down. Doing this in your own time, with your own breath, but deeply connecting to the breath inside of your belly. And take a moment to really notice how calming it is to be holding this teddy on this part of your body. Breathing in, belly goes up. Breathing out, belly goes down. And then I want you now to gently place your teddy down wherever you want to put it. Slowly begin to open your eyes, becoming present to this moment once again, and just take a few shoulder rolls. As mums and dads, but in particular mums, we can hold a lot of stress in our shoulders, especially if you are breastfeeding, continually picking your babies up. So really relaxing your shoulders and then just moving your neck from side to side, making sure you're not holding any tension in your neck or your shoulders. Okay, well done. That was the first breathing technique, and this is a really great way to help you breathe deeply into your belly, because when you do this, you are engaging your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the opposite of fight and flight, and that is ultimately what you want to be doing throughout the day to make sure that you have a calm and regulated nervous system. You can also do this when your children are watching TV. I think this is a great moment of pause. You know, my kids are watching Bluey. Place them on your tummy, or if they don't want to go on your tummy, you can just place your hand on your tummy and use that as your moment to practice your breathing. You can do this in the morning when you are getting them dressed, when you're having your morning coffee, on the school run. And this is lovely to do at night time as you're guiding them to get to sleep. So they don't necessarily know that you're doing this, but this is a lovely way to really calm your nervous system and for you to practice your belly breathing. So placing something on your belly is a brilliant way to help you engage with the breath in your belly. And of course, if you have a newborn baby or a little baby as well, you put them on your belly. There's nothing beats that feeling. And this is also great because you can show your children this. So when you're showing them, you guide them to be like, oh, let's play a game where we pretend that we're trying to get the toys to sleep. They've just had a big picnic and we need to get them to sleep. So it's great for you to show them, lie on the floor, get them to place the toy on their belly and see if you can push it up with your belly and lower it down, and we're helping them get to sleep. So that's technique 1. Technique 2 is what I call a meditation for meltdowns. Like I said before, meltdowns are really hard. They're really high stress, and we can often, our nervous systems might be triggered. Your inner child might be triggered, and you don't necessarily react in ways that you want. Maybe you react with anger, or maybe you shut down, or maybe you try to stop them from feeling whatever emotion it is that they're feeling. However you react is completely normal. But in these moments, what we want to remember is, in order for us to react in a way that react in a way that we want to, is remember that they need us to be their anchor of calm. So for that reason, we need an anchor. So what you're going to do is you're going to use this mudra. It's a really simple one, just forefinger to thumb. It's a lovely way to ground your energy, and it can be done in those moments of meltdowns. Obviously, no one knows what you're doing. You could be out in a park, and just remember, in those moments, you see your child having a meltdown, big emotions, anchor yourself. So forefinger to thumb, and then start to deepen your breathing. Breathing in through the nose, and I would always recommend breathing out through your mouth, because it helps you extend your out breath. If you don't want to do that, so you don't want your child to see you breathing for whatever reason, of course you can internalize your breath. But remember, you extend your out breath for as long as you possibly can. And then with your breath, you're going to use a mudra. So you're going to use that mudra, and then you're also going to say an affirmation just in your head. So as you breathe in, you say, I am their anchor. And as you breathe out, you say, what do they need from me? So let's practice that together. So breathing in with that first mudra, breathing in and repeat the words, I am their anchor. And then letting go as you exhale and you repeat, what do they need from me? So just take a minute to close down your eyes. Of course, you're not going to have your eyes closed in this moment, but just so that you can start to connect to what that feels like. So forefinger to thumb, breathing in. I am their anchor of calm. Breathing out. What do they need from me? Breathing in. I am their anchor of calm. Breathing out. What do they need from me? So you're only going to be able to do this for, a short amount of time. But what this is doing is helping you to regulate your nervous system. Remember, in those moments of dysregulation, they need us to be calm and regulated in order to help them find their way back to themselves, ultimately bring their thinking brain back online. If we're tense, if we're stressed, if we're reacting with anger, it's only going to escalate. It's only going to escalate or, prolong the whole process. So the more calm and relaxed we are, the easier it is for them to regulate. And these two affirmations do two things. So the number one, I am their anchor, reminds you that you are what they need right now. Okay, I need to be their anchor of calm. So what do I need to do? Well, I need to take a deep breath. So it's less around controlling them. I need to make sure I'm breathing, I'm lowering my shoulders, that I'm as calm as I can possibly be. And the second statement we said was, what do they need from me? This affirmation or statement gives you the space to remember that how they are, their behavior and how they're being isn't something personal. It allows you to be less reactive to that. So rather than reacting with annoyance that they want the purple cup over the pink cup and how could they do this to me or whatever it might be, it allows you to be less reactive and really start to think about, what do they actually need in that moment? Do they need me to get down on their level? Can I talk a bit more quietly? Do they need me to actually just be quiet? And do they need, less talking, less words right now? Do they want me to just sit with them? Sometimes my little boy, if I say too many things, he gets more annoyed, but he just wants me to sit with him. And when I'm doing that, I'm making sure that I'm breathing, okay? Because these are the high stress times, meltdowns and tantrums. So remember, this is your anchor, okay? And then we are now going to finish with some tapping. So just take a moment now to gently check in, closing down the eyes, and check in with how stressed you've been feeling recently. Okay, how stressed as a parent you've felt, and maybe something comes to mind. Maybe you're trying to navigate your child starting a new year, or maybe they're struggling with something, or you're navigating trying to make new mum friends in the schoolyard. Whatever it is, just think about any stress that you might be having recently that's connected to being a parent. Or maybe you are just permanently sleep deprived. And I want you to gently give that stress a number. 0 being, I have no stress at all, I feel amazing, cool, calm and collected. 10 being, I'm really struggling today, but with no judgment. And then gently open your eyes and we're going to begin some tapping. So you always begin by tapping on your karate chop, which is the side part of your non-dominant hand. And repeat after me. Even though I have this stress as a parent, I love and accept myself anyway. And even though I feel this stress in my body and mind, that's okay. I'm a human being. And the job of parenting can feel tough. And even though I have this stress as a parent, I love my body. I love my mind. I'm open to the possibility of feeling a bit more calm and relaxed. Then moving to the inner eyebrow point, closing down the eyes, and I will guide you through. Repeat after me on the inner eyebrow. I have this stress. Outer eyebrow, in my body and mind. Underneath the eye, parenting can feel tough. Underneath the nose, I'm juggling so much. Underneath the mouth, I'm often sleep deprived. Tapping on the chest, feel like I always have to be on. Underneath the arm, don't get any spare time for myself. Tapping on the head, navigating big emotions. Inner eyebrow, navigating meltdowns and tantrums. Outer eyebrow, it's a lot for my nervous system. Underneath the eye, no wonder I can feel stressed. Underneath the nose, I'm taking a moment now to be fully human. Underneath the mouth, deeply honor the stress that I have. Tapping on the chest, and finally give myself permission to slow down. Underneath the arm, the job of parenting can be really stressful, but that's okay. Tapping on the head, I am still an amazing parent. Then place your palms facing up, shut down your eyes, take a deep cleansing breath for me, breathing in and letting go. With eyes still remaining closed, just gently checking in with your body. Okay, where might you be holding your stress in your body, and just see if you can start to breathe into that part of your body, just noticing how your body feels first. Then gently checking in with how you feel in this moment. as you finally start to give yourself permission to slow down. We do not often do this as a parent. Then gently open your eyes, and we're going to do one final round. So tapping on the karate chop. Again, repeat after me. Even though I'm still feeling stressed. Parenting is hard. I love and accept myself anyway. And even though I can put a lot of pressure on myself to be a perfect parent, I realize now that no parent is perfect. I am a human being. And even though I can sometimes feel stressed, I love my body. I love my mind. I give myself permission to fully slow down and relax. Moving to the inner eyebrow point, repeat after me. I give myself permission to slow down. Outer eyebrow. I give myself permission to pause. Underneath the eye, I'm always on the go. Underneath the nose, so just in this moment. Underneath the mouth, I give myself permission to pause. Tapping on the chest. My self-care is important. Underneath the arm, I give myself permission to relax and feel calm. Tapping on the head, there's nothing more I need to do in this moment. Inner eyebrow. I don't need to be a perfect parent. Outer eyebrow. Because I am a human being. Underneath the eye. So I choose to be kind and compassionate to myself. Underneath the nose. I realize now how important my inner resources are. Underneath the mouth, so I'm starting to fill up my own cup. Tapping on the chest, my mind is important. My self-care is important. Underneath the arm, raising tiny humans is hard. Tapping on the head, but I am doing great. I am an amazing parent. Now place your palms facing up, shut down your eyes, take a deep cleansing breath, breathing in and letting go. And then for the final time, just checking in with your body first. Just tuning into how your body feels in this moment. Then take a moment to tune in to how you feel in this moment. Where is your number now on your stress levels? Just gently checking in with no judgment. and be so proud of yourself for nurturing your own self-care today. Because the calmer and more grounded and more present you are, the happier and calmer your children will be. So take one final deep breath for me, breathing in and letting go. And then you can gently begin to open your eyes. Well done, everybody. I am so proud of all of you that have shown up today. It's not easy to carve out any time for your self-care as a parent. I totally get it. So hopefully I've shown you in this short session that there are simple ways that you can really regulate your nervous system and, do techniques that when you're with your kids, and the more you show them that you're prioritizing the mind, they're more than naturally going to want to copy it. Of course, if you do want some more support in nurturing your well-being as a parent and starting to really nurture your own inner child as a parent, which is so important, then please do get in contact. Kim@happyheads.me. I would love to hear from you. Have a wonderful day.